it's June 19th, the day before I head out to compete, right, buddy? Yeah. And we're just packing stuff up and getting ready to go so that we can head out to Baltimore to go to the Maryland State Championships East Coast Grand Prix, which I've been doing this show since like 2009 or 2008, I think. It's my first time doing physique. So we're going to head out pretty soon. We're just hanging out here, getting things set up, and of course with my packing partner, Bruce Dix. Say hi, buddy. Uh-huh. He's less than impressed. He's very not impressed, right? You think you want to compete? They don't have a bulldog category though. But if they did, I think you'd win, right? Ooh, no. Okay. All right, we left the house and we're heading to Baltimore to go to the Maryland State Championships East Coast Grand Prix. It's about 1:50. I wanted to be out here a little earlier. I had to make a stop and get a couple things, and of course I have to pee like every fucking 10 minutes. I'm drinking a lot of water. My body's already starting to dry out. I'll do my dry out thing when I get there tonight, but it's the third show I did this year. I've never done this many shows in a year, spaced this far apart. I don't remember how many shows. I don't know if I've done 3 in a row, but if it was like bang, 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 like right in a row, not spaced out. These are like 4 or 5 weeks apart. And, you know, this one I'm feeling more confident about. I feel like I'm in my best condition ever, my best shape ever. I tried a couple different things. I tried some new training techniques, which I feel worked out really well. I took a chance and gave it a shot. And from what I'm seeing, it worked out. So we'll see tomorrow, you know, the final product, how well that worked out. But, you know, they have 3 more shows that I had planned coming up. So it's a total of 6 this year to get enough experience to be able to be competitive in physique at at the next level, which would be like the national level, the Masters Nationals or something like that. So I'm qualified. But now, after Bruno, we found out yesterday at the vet that he has dissociation, something or other. It's Alzheimer's for dogs, is what it is. Cognitive dissociation or something like that. And basically, he's got some issues with his liver, like all of a sudden. He's got some nodules on his spleen. And there's really no surgeries that they can do for him that won't cause him pain, and they're not sure that it would even solve anything anyways. So with the health complications he already had and his age, you know, the vet, you know, I asked her flat out, what would you do if this was your dog? And she said, I would just make him as comfortable as I could for as long as I could. So today, of course, you know, I'm leaving to go just overnight. I'm not going to stay. Usually I stay 2 or 3 days when I go to a show, but I'll drive back immediately after the show tomorrow night. And I started thinking, you know what, like, if Bruno's declining, it's much more important for me to spend time with him than it is to compete. Competitions will always be there. So it doesn't matter what kind of shape I'm in this year, how my diet's going. I mean, everything has been on point this year.
Keep right to merge onto I-495 East toward Baltimore.
And, you know, having everything on point makes you just want to go, 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 go. But you sometimes got to take a step back and look at it and say, fuck, you know, is this worth this? I have to sacrifice this, because you have to make sacrifices in life. You know, to be able to stay with Bruno, I'll have to sacrifice the goals that I set for myself. To hit those goals, I'll have to sacrifice time with Bruno. So it's an interesting spot to be in, because, you know, Bruno's the only one on this earth that I would ever say, you know what? Well, I can't say that, because if I was in the same position with another loved one passing away, or, you know, in the process of passing away, whatever the case may be, I would cancel a show in a fucking New York minute. So we're heading to the Maryland States. We're going to check in to the hotel and chill for a little while. I'm going to eat my meals. I'll probably have to pee in another 5 minutes halfway, you know, to the highway. So we'll check in with you soon. All checked into the room and checked in for the show tomorrow. Got my protein on. And now it's time to finish carbing up, which I got all my meals that I'm finishing up here of jasmine rice and grilled chicken. That's pretty much what I use to carb up. And I also use oatmeal. So oatmeal is probably my favorite thing to carb up on. The problem is if I eat too much of it, it sits in my stomach. So if I have it more than twice, I can get away with maybe twice in one day. Other than that, it just sits in my stomach like a fucking rock in my stomach distends. So I have to mix it up with other carbohydrates, and rice cakes too. I actually dig rice cakes, and they work pretty well for me. Thing is, there's not a lot of carbs in rice cakes, so you have to eat so many of them to get the same effect as you would if you're eating the oatmeal. But I mean, it's good to be eating a lot of shit right before the show. It's kind of fun since you know have been restricting a little bit. I'm all checked in, and I like how they give us these badges. In Maryland, they've been doing this for like every show that we have, to wear these badges in the backstage and stuff like that to get backstage. And the number 193. By the time you guys see this, the show will be over. So if you're going to be there, you're not going to know enough to cheer for me anyways. But so now it's just a matter of finishing the drying out, filling out a little more, which I feel like I could be a little bit fuller. But as you can see, I'm pretty vascular. Actually, ever since I got the tattoos, it's hard to see my vascularity. But anyways, pretty vascular. Everything's going according to plan. It's my third show this year, and it's my third show alone. Which, here's something interesting. I mean, we'll talk about this because it's fact, it's truth, and I think it's important to talk about shit like this. The more you do something, the more it becomes routine, the more it becomes normal. Whereas I had a life before where I always had Kari with me, and all these things we did together. The first show that I did, the Gladiator, was very strange. It was an awkward feeling. It was weird. Even though I had Ani with me, who's one of my dearest friends, it wasn't the same as having Kari there. As the second show came up, which was the Woodbridge, I went out to Woodbridge, Virginia to compete in the Max Muscle. It started to feel a little different. It was like, you know what? I've already done this before. And now this one, it just becomes kind of natural. It becomes kind of normal. Like you go from having one life before into having a different life. It's weird. It's like I kind of, pinging over here, I kind of relate it to saying like the life I led before, it's kind of like I watched it on a DVD. It's like I watched the movie and I have memories of the movie. That's kind of like the memories of my life. And then that's the past. So now in the present, you're kind of forging new memories and having new experiences, and you're finding a new way to do things, which is just as interesting. So time to eat again, and then we're going to get to bed early because we got an 8:30 meeting for competitors tomorrow morning, which I don't know if you guys have ever competed. Those of you who haven't, it's basically just telling you the order of events and talking about different things that are going on at the show, different sponsors, questions being answered for the competitors if they have any, and stuff like that. So let's get to bed soon. We're out.
Present is number 193. Welcome, Jerry Ward.
All right, Jerry! Woo!
Backstage over here at the Maryland, getting ready for the night show. My voice is gone. And looks like it went pretty well this morning. Out of 8 or 9 guys in the class or whatever it is, looks like I'm top 2, maybe 3. We'll see what happens at the night show. I came in as conditioned as I could and was the most conditioned one in the class, but we'll see where it winds up. Let's take a walk over here onto the stage. Here's the background where they had the screens and stuff set up, which was pretty cool. So you actually see yourself on the screen. So when I was posing on that screen, I could see my back to make adjustments to the way I was posing, which was really cool. Here's the trophies that they got set up. Pretty cool. They get gift bags and stuff for people that are winning overalls and stuff like that. Oh, so now it's just a matter of wait. I went to back to the hotel and I had chicken, salad, and then a little bit of sweet potato. Probably had about 2 ounces of sweet potato, literally. Didn't have much water. I had a Diet Coke. Some of that caffeine there will still keep drying me out. My throat is pretty hoarse. It's dry because I don't have much water left in my body. I'm pretty depleted. So now we'll just wait till the night show and see what happens.
Yeah, Jerry!
Well, by now you guys saw the footage, and I wound up with 3rd place out of 9 guys in the class, which not bad. It was actually a really good class. I was surprised at how lean and hard and full the guys were. I sacrificed some fullness, which I used to do the opposite in bodybuilding. I actually used to sacrifice conditioning for fullness in size. This time I did the opposite because I wanted to come in as hard as I possibly could. And some of those guys had better genetics than I did, just the muscle bellies themselves and stuff. But I beat them with my conditioning. One of my poses wasn't on par, my back pose, and it's like 50% of your score. I thought it was a certain way because I was trying to show a lot of separation, like especially to my traps, like areas that I'm strong. But where the judges' eyes were, they couldn't even see the top of my traps and stuff like that. So I needed to adjust my posing a little bit, and actually Gary Udit helped me with that for the night show, and
I corrected it for the night show, but its scoring had already been done. So at this point, I'm not really disappointed because I walked in there, you don't know what to expect. It's like I got second in Woodbridge, I got third here, and some people may say like you're going backwards. Well, you can't do that because from show to show it's different competitors. If I was competing against the same guys, then yes, you go backwards. But this doesn't mean it's a backward step because it's a different show with different people. Harder competition, you may not place as well. Easier competition, you may win. Doesn't mean that you're doing better because you won. It just means that maybe the competition wasn't as good. So we'll see what happens the next time. I got the next show in about 6 weeks from now. That'll make my 4th show for the season so far. And we'll see, some of the things that I tried to dry out a little more, be harder, show more muscularity, paid off. It's exactly what I wanted. When the judges tell you, dude, your condition was fucking spot on, and I was the hardest guy in the class and one of the harder guys in the whole show, then you start going, okay, I got something here. All right, so I'm gonna stick with that. So for now, it's Sunday. I'm gonna grab some food, some normal food. I think I'm actually gonna have elevation burger, which is Bruno. You want elevation burger too? What do you mean? All right, hang on. Let's see what. So what do you want to do? Do you want an elevation burger? You don't eat elevation burger. What about Burger King? You don't eat Burger King. What do you want? You want chicken? He likes chicken. Loves chicken. Do you want to do chicken? How about some rice with the chicken? All right, we'll get the chicken rice. We're out. Say bye, Brew. Go ahead. You gonna shake hands? I say, oh, there you go. Say bye. Good boy. Bye. Good boy.